Hey everybody, what's up? Alright, so it is Oreo here on the Daily Cookie, you know, the place you all love to come. Alright, so today we're going to have some topics given to me by WAYSTONE ZALGUS actually talk about. So I ran into him last night in the game and he asked me if I wouldn't mind talking about the vision system and the roll system, and I said, alright, that sounds like a good idea because I kind of dried up on what I wanted to talk about. Hold on guys, one sec. Oh, okay. I think this guy wants to scrim. Alright. Do you guys like the scrim? Sorry about that. Okay. So, shout out to NACL for wanting to scrim. Okay, guys. So, first we're going to talk about the vision system, okay? And vision system, what that is a mechanic within the game to be able to get vision of the opponents, to see the opponents, to know where they are on the map. Alright, so the thing about vision systems across most games is that they differ. So in StarCraft, it's called a game of limited knowledge, because you can only attain knowledge to whatever you can see at that moment. Right? So what you see at that moment could change drastically in the next minute. So you could see the enemy's army in their base, but in the next 20, 30 seconds, they could be at your doorstep trying to kill you. Right? They could do a complete tech change in like 15 seconds. Right? They could just cancel Nexus, build 4 gateways, and rush you. Okay? So that's the StarCraft. That's the limited vision. Now, Dawngate and League of Legends in particular are the games I know, so I'm going to talk about them for a couple seconds. I consider them games of... I don't have the actual term for it, but I call it games of you can get as much vision and knowledge as you want, as you're willing to put out. So if you're willing to take that extra step to get it, you can get that extra vision like very easily. It's not hard. I mean, we already get knowledge on what items the enemy team has, what level they are, what spells they have, how much money they could possibly have via kills, assists, and CS score. How many times they've died. Like, you can get a lot of information, and plus, the map also has the buff camp thingies. They all spawn, so you can see you can visually see when. So if you check someone's wraith camp, you can tell when it comes back up and where they could possibly be through that. So, or vice versa, a mushroom camp or something. So, but you have the ability to get vision if you really want it. It's just a matter of getting it. Now, the thing about Dawngate system is that we only have 5 sight words, right? So you can only have true vision on someone in 1 of 5 spots on the map. So in early laning phase, usually you're going to have your words out in the big area between the green and orange buffs on both sides, so on both sides of the map, usually around this like kind of weird like snake thing that goes around the bush there by money pigs. Then your other word's gonna be in the choke between exiting Parasite and going into the lane. Usually is where you're gonna have your ward, and then your 5th ward usually will be your jungler's ward, which will be either in their jungle, by money pigs, if your ward died and they don't have another ward, just to check their back, or on Parasite, which is usually the safest place because a lot of ganks come through Parasite, right? So that's usually where you're going to have your vision, your sight words. Now, my issue with our vision system is I actually do enjoy everyone having a ward because it takes a lot of onus off the support to always buy wards and have to do huge gold sinks. So like a support in League of Legends, if they don't buy Sightstone, we'll be putting in upwards of almost $2,000 $2,000? Yeah, 2K to 4K worth of gold into their wards. Whereas a Dawngate support can build their items. It's free to build their items because everyone has a ward. Now my issue with it is that we don't have any counter vision play. And I think that the only way you can probably do this is kind of take away from the League of Legends kind of thing. The League of Legends style of counter vision. But lesser scale. If you have one person who can clear the ward, it's much better than having 5 people. So sweeping lenses, if you have 4 sweeping lenses, 1 ward, that's usually what you see normally in League of Legends until super late game, and the team behind gets a scrying orb, and then they just pop scrying orb on Baron to see whenever it's there, so they don't get baited in. So that's pretty much the League of Legends system at the moment. But then Dawngate, if we had someone who could actually clear, like it was part of their role that they got this clearing thing, but you only have one person who can have that clearing thing a game. I mean, I would say put it on the tactician or the jungler actually. The jungler was always the lowest gold anyway. and give them some gold for killing things. So like give them 100 gold or 200 gold for killing this, for a ward, because I mean junglers are substantial. Yeah, I think junglers should have it actually out of everybody, because I'll get to their roles first later, but you really do need something like that, guys. If because you can't have a game where you can always have 5 wards up, because then there's no counterplay. There's no really. I mean, having 4 wards up at a time is okay, or well, it'd be 3 wards because you'd have one person who has the sweeping lens, right? The sweeping lens, and you have one person. So you have 4 people with wards. One gets taken out, so you have 3 wards on the map, which would really make 2 really smart placements. And even baiting, because you could bait out a ward. So you put a ward down and have that person come and sweep that ward out, and then they couldn't sweep up the really important wards that you'd have on the map. Right? And if you really didn't want to have that thing, you could choose not to have it, right? So that would I would think that would probably be the most important thing about the vision system that we don't have, that a way to clear out 1 ward off the map would make it really impactful. I think it would make the game a lot more interesting. That's my thought actually on our vision system, but I do like that you don't have to, that a support doesn't, or a jungler or someone doesn't have to waste a ton of their money on wards, because that's actually such a buzzkill, because you can get really good items in this game as a support, and if you're sinking 2,000 into wards all the time, and also it also just slows your build down, it slows you down, and also it relieves toxicity, because if there's no wards on the map, it's not always your fault. It's not the support's fault automatically, it's the team's fault. And if your laner doesn't want a ward, that is their prerogative and they will die for it. That's like the end result of that, alright? Also, wards are on a 3-minute cooldown, so, you know, I mean, that's a side note, we all know that already. But that's my thoughts on the vision system, right? I think there's a lot of good things about it, and there's less bad things, but there's a few things that could be worked on. Alright, so second, we're going to get into the role system. Now, Dawnggate is the first game to ever, or at least a role system. I think, who tried to do it second? Maybe Strife? Maybe Strife? I don't know. I don't know enough about the game because I've only played it 2 times, and I hate it so much because it's so pointless. So the role system, there are 4 roles in Dawnggate, and you can choose each one, any of the 4 at the beginning of the game. And so usually what you want to do is you want to kind of have a role system, a role setup that goes like this. You want 1 hunter, which is going to be your jungler. You're going to want 2 tacticians, which are going to be your lane supports. They're not actually always supports. Sometimes they're carries in lane. Sometimes they're bruisers, whatever. And you want your gladiators, which are basically your farmers. And they're going to sit there and they're going to farm. Alright? So the trick about this is because the thing about this is you can do 4 tacticians, and it's perfectly viable, and it used to be a thing where you just go tactician because you didn't need to last it. If you could last it really well, you didn't get that much of a bonus from getting, you got a huge bonus if you could keep 15 stacks, but keeping 15 stacks was really, really hard. So you wouldn't always be able to do it. So the new gladiator is you get double the amount of CS, like double the money for killing 1 minion, so it's pretty good. Like you get 18 Vim for killing 1 minion, which is really, really good. And then, so that's gladiators. So usually you only want 2 of those because you can't justify having 3 or 4 gladiators on a team because you just will not have enough. There's not enough CS to go around. There's not enough minions to kill to go around. So you will have, everyone will be under Vimmed, I guess we'll call it. Then you got the second, which is the hunter, which is the jungle role. If you kill you get extra gold for killing minions, jungle minions. So you have a chance of getting 30 extra gold for killing a jungle minion, and also you get healed by 2.5% of the minion's current max health. So it used to be 5%, which was really good, which made jungling really easy. Now it's 2.5, which isn't as good, but I mean, I don't complain because it was silly before. I think maybe a 3.5 would probably be more along the lines of respectable than it is right now because it's a little bit on the weak side, in my opinion. The tactician, where you can get Vim for harassing and being near last hits. This is for supports. You don't last hit, you just get free money for hitting your opponents and zoning them. So now let's talk about the role system. There's no comparison to it. I mean, League of Legends, you have a jungler, you have a person who plays support, you have a mid, you have a top and a carry, right? But these are not roles. These are not bona fide, this is what I'm going to do all game long roles, or this is my idea of what I want to do, or how I'm going to play. These are just In League of Legends, saying, I'm going to be the AD carry doesn't mean anything. It means that I'm going to sit in bot lane, and I'm going to attempt to less hit minions and try to carry the game, and be a complete asshole all the time, which is usually what happens. I mean, not always, don't get me wrong. Like, League players are pretty cool guys, but some aren't. And there's supports who are going to be like, I'm going to ward, or I'm going to think I'm going to ward, and then I'm not going to buy any wards and complain about Sightstone, which is what my friends do. Then there's mid who's like, I'm going to carry game because I'm the all-great mid, or probably just speed. And then there's top like, I'm going to be a tank, or an assassin because we don't need a tank. And then there's a jungle who's like, I'm going to farm the jungle and gank. So there's not benefit, there's not like a specific, like this, you get this for being in this position. You get this, you get extra money for being a gladiator. No, you just get the same gold everyone else does for less hitting. You don't get life regen for being a jungler because Smite doesn't do that. Like, it's kind of the way it is, right, in League. So, the thing about the non-gate system is that there are small issues with it because a gladiator will not make any money if the person cannot last hit. And gladiator does not mean carry. Gladiator means I can last hit and I can get money for last hitting. That's what gladiator means. It's not the 80 carry role. It's not the carry role, right? Tactician probably gets too much money for doing nothing. But now it's more beneficial if you can be a really good tactician that you can actually get a lot more money. Oh, and there's Predator. I forgot about that. Predator is pretty much the assassin role. If you get kills, you get money. If you get assists, you get... So if you get kills and assists, you get extra money. If you get Spirit Well workers, you get extra... Oh, that's what I'll do next well, not actually, the Spirit Wells. You get extra money, right? And extra XP for doing Spirit Wells and killing people. So it's a sink or swim role. If you get those kills, you will be massively ahead. If you do not get those kills, you will be massively behind because you have no Vim generation whatsoever. Because we don't have gold per 5. We have gold generation things, but I mean Vim generation things, but whatever. There's no point taking them on a Predator, right? Like, it's a Predator, you want to get kills, you need penetration, you need that kind of stuff. So I call it the assassin role because really only assassins can do it reliably. So, I think out of the 4 roles, the only one that really needs a lot of tweaking is the Predator role, and Waystone. Waystone, like, I'm just agreeing with Waystone here because they know Predator's in a bad place right now. Like, you don't have to pick Predator. If you pick Predator, you're putting yourself at a bigger risk. But picking Gladiator, which is safe money. Tactician is easy money. Jungle is no money, but that's a whole different story. That's just jungle money in general. So yeah. I think the sun's going down. It's really late. It's like 6 o'clock, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much the pros of the the role system is that you have a specified role in what you're going to do, and everyone knows this, right? The cons of it are that really that some of them aren't as refined. Like, they're all kind of, except for I think Gladiator right now, they're all kind of in like iffy-ish spots. I mean, Jungle's probably the next closest to perfect. It's just the heal, I think, needs to be fixed. But the other two are definitely... I think being a tactician's too easy, and you make too much Vim for doing nothing, for doing almost nothing, and being a very good tactician is very easy. And you can make a ton of Vim for doing it. And then also, Predator's absolutely, like, you need to do a full rework on Predator, guys. I'm sorry, but it's been a problem for so long since, like, the beginning of Dawngate. Predator has not been something that's worked properly. It's a good thought, though. It's a really good thought. So that's my thought. Like, role system's great to have. It gives you a defined place. It gives you a defined role, a job within the team. But at the same time, some of the roles do need a lot of work towards being balanced and fixed. All right, so we're at 14 minutes. We're going to quickly wrap this up at 15. I want to get this done by 15 to 15 and a half minutes. So we're going straight to the item corner. Woo, item days! Item time, yeah! So since Map V2 came out, this is one item that I loved at the beginning of Map V2, and I've decided that it is not worth the money because of the earliness you need to get it, and there's better early items to get. So the item is called Prosperity. Alright, so Prosperity costs 2,870 Vim, gives you 400 HP, 20 armor, 15 magic resist. Hold on, I'm doing something. And the passive, you get 200 HP at 10 minutes. After 10 minutes of having this item, you get 25 armor and 15 magic resist also. So this item is really good at scaling into the mid to late game. So if you get it around 15 minutes, the base stats are nice, but then it starts to scale really, really well because you're looking at, 600 HP, 45 armor, and 30 magic resist at like 25 minutes, which is almost like the amount of just raw stats you get from this item is almost unparalleled throughout the game. But its cost is so high that you're going to give up a lot of other items. Like things like Pestilence cost less and do more for your team. This will make you tanky, but it won't help you very much if your team's not doing well. So, yeah. I mean, Prosperity is definitely an item that we're going to look towards in the future as a possible first buy for a lot of support, for a lot of tanks. But at the moment, there are so many better items right now. I do think this is a great item, though. Like, Prosperity is probably one of my favorite designs of the turtle shell, and also one of my favorite items on a whole. But I mean, the cost is just too high. If you brought down the cost a little bit, so maybe like a 2,600, sort of like an Aegis of the Legion kind of, or like even, yeah, brought it down even farther, like Aegis of the Legion status, like 1,900. I will take less HP. I will take less HP if you bring it down, because I mean, it's sort of like a Rod of Ages, but for HP. If you have to put it that way, it's a Rod of Ages, but for HP and armor and magic resist. So I'd say bring down the cost a little bit, maybe bring down the values, but get it to around like 2,200, 2,300, and you'll see like a 2,200. If you put something at 2,200, I will guarantee you it will boom straight up there as one of the top item buys, because it is just so good for what it does. But bring down the total HP maybe like 450-ish. The armor maybe down to 40, and maybe even 35, and the armor to 25, and I'd say you'd be fine. You could put it for 2,200, and you'd see a huge resurgence in this item. So that is everything today, guys. I hope you liked it. Hit me up if you guys have any suggestions on what you want me to talk about. Personally, I have a suggestion to talk about why I think Amaranth is absolutely horrible, and the problems with Amaranth, and I will get around to doing that maybe 2 days from now, 3 days from now, I don't know yet. But definitely let me know what you guys want me to talk about, because this is as much a show for me as it is for you. Okay? So it's about us interacting with each other, and I really do love doing this for you guys. And today I promise I will not give you guys the link to my video editor. I'm going to actually give you the real link. Alright, guys? So have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay? Hit me up in-game at Bex_Oreo. Hit me up on Twitter, Bex_Oreo. YouTube, you know where to do it because you're watching the video right here. And on the Dongate subreddit, @or30 on the post. I will see you guys later. I'm sorry for the 17-minute video. Alright? Later days.